rock fans. This is Brad.
I'm Amy.
This is Mikey B.
Hello.
We are joined by Maddox Messer and his male companion, Bobby.
Nickel Bob, a.k.a. Nickel Bob.
We talked about this. I'm out of here.
That did not take long.
HR tomorrow.
Yeah. Well, thanks for
that
talking
obvious?
to us tonight, fellas.
What's going on?
Well, let's get this out of the way early. Who's Bobby?
Well, Bobby is our new guitar player. He's taken over the duties. He's a great guitar player. Has a lot of Dime stories because he grew up with Dime, and he's just been a good buddy of ours for a long time. Actually, he's been down the hall for like 20 years, it seems like. And another mutual friend of ours, from I don't know if you guys are familiar with the band War Beast.
Yeah.
Bobby used to play in War Beast, and so another mutual friend of ours that also used to be in War Beast had said, "Hey man, have you ever thought about getting Bobby?" And I said, "No, actually I hadn't, but he's probably one of the best guitar players that I think I've played with in a long time. So I'm glad that Jamie introduced us. So now here he is. So
Awesome.
follow him on the Instagram at Nickel Bob.
Guilty as charged.
So did you grow up in Arlington, Bob, or no?
Yeah, I did.
Okay. Did you go to Arlington High with Vinny and Dime?
No, I was like 10 years younger, I think, about.
Okay.
I just kind of grew up in the same hood and started just kind of joining bands, and word got around somehow that, a different band was looking for a guitar player. Once you start getting mentioned by 3 different circles, you're like, all right, dude. So I think the same thing kind of happened here, where
how did you start hanging out with Dime? Tell him that story. That's a good story to tell.
Oh, y'all can ask me whatever you want, man.
Tell him that.
Hey, tell us about that time you hung out, how you met Dime.
Oh, shit. You put me on the spot like that. God damn it.
You said we could ask anything.
I just grew up down the street from him, where his mom lived. I was about in like the 4th grade or something, and me and my buddy would ride our bikes from like his grandma's house to my house, and he'd throw tapes at us and be like, "Hey, you little kids, have a cassette tape." He just fucked with us, and we'd go run up in the yard and get it, and go back and jam it, and that's really how I just, then of course Pantera got more, this was back in the power metal days, so as Pantera got more famous and got better and all, and got huge, then I got old enough to drink and met him in my 20s, and he took me under his wing, and taught me a lot of shit and gave me some pretty cool guitars and, but I'm definitely carrying the torch, he's one of my biggest heroes and one of my best buddies. So yeah, but, I'm still original, I don't just like play exactly like Dime or anything like that. I play like a soulful blues player or we do have some of the same influences, but, I'm not like a Dime wannabe or nothing like that.
But if they called him and said, "Hey, come play," he would do it note for note flawlessly.
If Zach were to break a finger, you wouldn't mind the phone call, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah, trust me, I've already sent that message out to Phil, so.
Yeah, because you did stuff with Phil with War Beast, so there's when he's but Zach's
How long were you with War Beast?
I'm just an old rock and roll relic, just road weary and road ready, road tested, road approved.
So where'd you go to school in Arlington?
I went to Short and Gunn in Arlington. I think I went to Bailey for a minute. I moved around a lot. I hated school, dude. What
he's saying is he didn't finish high school.
Yeah, I totally dropped out. I dropped out of school. I barely went to Arlington High. It's like, fuck
Briefly,
school.
that's all
Those,
right.
in case you're keeping score, he was naming off junior highs and Arlington.
Yeah, he was.
Bro.
Oh, what did he click on? He's back. Yeah, I recognize some of those junior highs. I grew up in Arlington too. So.
Yeah, see, I went to Sam Houston High School.
Oh.
and Workman Junior High
Okay.
All right.
for keeping score.
Martin Warriors.
Yeah,
Young
you're a rich
junior
kid.
high.
Yeah, rich kids.
he's a rich kid.
Yeah, rich kids for sure.
Yeah, I was on that side of town.
Yeah, see, I was on that south side.
That's all right. I started off over there by Sam Houston. So used to
All right.
sneak on those baseball
Damn, all
fields. I
right.
know what you're talking about.
Mary Lane.
Fair enough. That's where all my garage bands were.
Oh man, I'm headed back that way, headed back to A-Town. So
Yeah, I
should be
couldn't
fun.
wait to get out. I actually live downtown Fort Worth. That's as far away from my hometown as I've.
That was far enough.
It's
So far away.
Kind of where Amy and I's stomping grounds were when we first met. Was she lived downtown Fort Worth area?
Yep.
Six-
I grew up West Fort Worth, and I still work there on Mondays, but the Jake's in downtown.
Oh,
So a
nice.
lot of times he would come and meet me at work, and then we would go out drinking. Those early days of our relationship before we lived together.
All right. Well, I'll have to come down. You still go to Jake's?
Yeah, I'm there on Mondays for lunch.
All right. Well, that's our new lunch spot. I'm gonna come in and bug you now.
Yeah, it's a good burger, man.
Yeah.
You know, Jake's not. And now we're gonna go down a burger rabbit hole, which I can take us down. But
Nothing wrong with that.
it's
Hey,
not
Derek.
it's not
Derek.
on my list. It's not on my list of burger places. But you're right. It's a good. They have good fries.
They have great fries. They're
But,
fresh and cut.
They have the
I
best
might go with a
bartender in
Fred
town.
burger or a rodeo goat burger.
I just flashed back
Rodeo
to
goat.
that kid.
Rodeo goat's not bad.
Kenny's
Yeah.
video. But you know what? Jake's is underrated. You're right. It's
I
underrated.
agree. Still a
All right.
but see, I don't consider Rodeo Goat and Jake's on the same level because Rodeo Goat's like a gourmet, like they don't just do like a basic. I mean, they do now,
Yeah,
but they
dude,
didn't
that one
like
was-
start
bougie
with just a
burgers.
basic
Yeah.
cheeseburger.
Have any
I
of
like
you
when they
tried?
do the burgers against each other or whatever. They put it on
Yeah.
the
Oh
board.
yeah, the battle burgers.
Battle
Yeah.
burgers.
Sound engineer Nick, he does that ghost pepper burger there. He loves that thing, but I don't do the hot spicy. Have any of you had Mr. Beast burger yet?
No.
No.
Mr. Beast burger.
Where's that at?
Yeah, it's a ghost kitchen out here in Fort Worth, and it turns out it's the movie tavern kitchen. That's where they're cooking up the
Oh.
old Beast burgers. But check your DoorDash or your Uber Eats, or I don't work for them or anything. Mr. Beast called me though.
Not
That's
yet.
all right. We'll take any sponsors we can get.
I will
Go
take.
ahead and
I will
leave that.
take,
Took a month's worth of Mr. Beast burgers, please.
Yeah.
You know,
Pretty decent hamburger.
Very nice.
any sponsors, go ahead and send it down there. If you're
Right,
interested,
right. Plug us.
contact
Talk
us.
about those Goats Kitchens. I saw last week that Steak and Ale's coming back.
Oh, it
Dude,
did
you
say
have
that.
no idea what that means to me. Growing up in Arlington. I ate Steak and Ale a lot. That was like fancy dinner, going out to dinner, and I took all my first dates to Steak and Ale.
Nice.
They had
Did you
like,
get them the French silk pie?
I remember the
I
salad
felt
bar.
swanky. I like that blue cheese wedge that they used to have, and that salad bar was pretty good too.
The
Salad
salad bar that was like minus 20 degrees. Yeah.
Yeah.
They had the stuffed mushrooms. Those were all right. I remember
Oh,
that.
that's back when I used to drink, and I thought I was fancy ordering a bottle of Yellowtail Shiraz at dinner. You know what I mean?
I do not want that sponsor.
Minus Yellowtail, too.
We said anything, but we do have limits.
Yeah, I have standards. I have standards.
Oh,
They're
wow.
very
But
low, but they're not that
I
low.
too am excited for that. I'm also excited about Portillo's. I don't know if any of you guys have ever been to Chicago and eaten Portillo's, but they just opened one up in Frisco, and we traded. We got Portillo's. We gave them Whataburger. I think we
Nice.
got the better end of that deal. I'm just saying, but yeah,
What's Portillo's?
It's like a hot dog place, right?
Yeah.
no, well, it's like closer to like a French dip, but it's the Italian beef, which is like Chicago's form of brisket, if you will. But they put it on
Oh.
the bun
Okay.
and they dip it in the sauce. You get it wet. You order it wet. You can get it dry, but you can order it wet. That's what you do.
Why
And,
would you want anything dry? That sounds terrible.
Exactly.
That's what
Why
she
is it
said.
dry? You get it wet, and it's amazing. And they have really good fries. They're crinkly, I believe, if I remember correctly, and they have a cheese sauce. It's pretty good. But their
All right.
chocolate cake is what they're also famous for. Is their
Ooh.
chocolate cake. So we were lucky enough. Not Bobby. Bobby was not lucky enough, but the rest of us in the band were lucky enough to take in Portillo's in downtown Chicago. Actually, it was just me and Derek, and then Jonathan. We were on a radio campaign, and our radio manager is actually from Chicago, so we had flown in. First place, we're going to Portillo's. That's what he's got to take, because when we
I
flew
may have
him
been
into Texas.
I may have
And,
been
you know,
there.
Yeah, where the bean is. You been
Yeah,
there?
I
Yeah.
actually probably have been there. Yeah, it's a pretty good dog.
Yeah, they do have the hot dog. It's good, but that's the Chicago. You need the Italian beef sandwich. That's where it's at. So I hope
Down
it's
here
as
we
good
call
as-
it Italian, but whatever.
Hey, the gabagoo. But I'm excited about that. Yeah,
So
I like
speaking of
Italian.
that, Bennigan's has a ghost kitchen.
Oh yeah,
Oh.
they're doing the Monte
I was
Cristo,
gonna say it's the
right?
Monte
It's the next
Cristo,
one.
right?
Yeah, it's at a hotel out here in Richardson.
Really?
Yeah.
I won't drive to Richardson for that.
I'm not driving Richardson for that
I
either.
ain't driving to fucking Richardson, okay?
I remember that. Do they have the that
Monte
burger that had
Cristo.
the cheese wheel, the fried
Oh.
cheese wheel that was on it? Do they still have that burger on their menu?
I don't know. It's supposed to be focused on the Monte Cristo right now.
I
Okay,
saw an
so-
advertisement
That's what I
for
was
it.
about to say.
The tater skins, and
Oh,
they had
yeah.
the best tater skins.
That Monte
Great
Cristo.
baby back ribs.
Correct me if I'm wrong, Brad. That Monte Cristo was like completely dipped and like fried.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
battered.
Yeah.
It's like a funnel cake batter.
Yeah, they
Yeah.
fry it.
And you
And then
dip it in
cut it, yeah.
boysenberry. They give you that little boysenberry sauce. Boysenberry.
Yeah, I mean it's. They tried to bring Bennigan's back once already, and it didn't work out. But
I think
So
they
if you guys
keep
are just tuning in, this is our cooking critic show.
Right.
This is-
Cooking
you've
with
heard of
Messer.
Cooking with the
Thanks for
Messers.
dialing
This is critiquing food with the Messers.
well, and if you're going to cook with Messer, you're going to need
Mm,
A Messer.
a Messer knife.
Well
that
played,
isn't.
sir.
That's not a knife. That is a knife, and it's a very nice charcuterie. You know, Derek's daughter, and his ex-wife. They just started a charcuterie business where they're making not the boards, but they're putting all the stuff on it. I guess they're cutting.
the meats and cheeses.
I guess that's a thing now over in Frisco, Plano area.
Yeah.
I don't know. Who
Like
knows?
to go style or like
you know, if you're having a party and you
Yeah.
need one done up, they bring like a platter over.
we actually had one of those at our reception, and that shit was badass.
Hey, have you got some meat there, Johnny?
We got the meats.
You got some meat?
I you know what? I mean, I appreciate the charcuterie board. I don't charcuterie personally. I don't ever bust out the charcuterie gear. It's like that's our fondue, right? That's like the
Just
the
meat and
charcuterie
cheese
board
and shit?
is the fondue of the 80s, right?
It's really just an adult Lunchable when you think about
I
it.
mean,
It is.
for
I did
sure.
not care for Lunchables growing up. Maybe that's why I don't charcuterie.
That's why you don't charcuterie.
I don't charcute. I don't charcute. Is that what
We've got listeners from all the way from snowy Maine.
Oh wow!
Listen,
Nice.
I never liked Lunchables. One time, I never fucking liked that guy Lunchable. Okay.
Is it snowy Maine, like on the East Coast, Maine?
Yeah, like all the way up there, way up north, I would assume.
I've been up there. Bengal.
Any good food up there, Maddox?
I did the lobster. The
Lobster.
Gotta get
rolls.
the fresh lobster.
There's a place up
The
there.
best.
There's
The
a place
best.
up there in. We played this really awesome venue. We played two venues up there. There's one, and right down the street is this place called. Hold on, it's going to come to me. God, it's something lobster. It's something lobster. If you look at it, but they started with a food truck, but they do these like lobster lollipops where it's like a lobster on a stick. And like you get these, and they're amazing.
Sure.
But their whole branding and everything is just really
Shish kebab.
amazing.
So
it has-
Alina here, I hope I'm not mistaking her
what is the
name,
name
but
of that place?
she said she met you on the East Coast up.
Oh,
Maine.
Aura. Yeah, that's the
That is
cool venue.
Aura.
Aura. That is. So ask her what is the name of the lobster place that's right there? It's got the good lobster with all the cool T-shirts. Help me out here.
You're asking her right now. You don't have to ask her to ask us.
I know. I'm asking.
She's watching. She can hear you.
Okay. I'm new to how technology works.
This whole internet
What
thing
is
is
the name of
crazy.
that place?
She's got
What
it
is
right
it?
here. Read it on the screen, bro.
No, that's not it. It's
Oh.
it's all rock and roll themed. It's some young kids that started it out. I remember it was all red and white. I remember that being their colors, kind of like In-N-Out Burger, because it was giving me In-N-Out Burger vibes. What is the name of that place? I'm gonna go and find a picture. I'm gonna go to Maine. I love
We
this
only
search
had a
feature.
device
Just like
that
go
could
to
tell
Maine.
us where I could get these things.
I got it. High Roller. High Roller. That's why I took a picture while I was in there because I love their merch. It's called High Roller Lobster Rolls.
Oh.
That was their shirts, but that's the name of the place. Did I take a picture of? No, I just took a picture of that place. But High Roller Lobster Company. I love that place.
All right. Well, if we're ever way
There you
up,
go.
There you have it.
Yeah, if you're ever in Maine. When
That's where we need to go for the lobster.
When in Maine, get the high roller lobster.
what's up, Casey? Peace.
Casey.
what up, dude?
So,
That venue she was talking about, though, Aura, that was a really cool venue. It was kind of a new modern. It's kind of like it was small and 2-story, but the sound in there was all like the best of the best of the best. It was really cool. We don't. I guess what's the place over by the basketball stadium that Mark Cuban opened up? Hi-Fi or
Here in Dallas,
yeah.
Oh god.
we were just there like last month. I
It's
don't
like
remember the name
it's
of
like
it.
that. It's a place.
Oh, we walked around there.
I know what you're talking about.
Okay, I was like, I don't think we've been there.
So, Maddox, let's talk about the new face tattoos.
Okay. Oh, did you notice that I have
So-
face tattoos?
I was just translating. Is that say 76 or Kung Pao chicken?
Exactly. It actually says, well, it's either 67 or 76. 76.
There it is.
It is 76. I am the year of the dragon.
All
Watch out.
Oddly enough, if you order number 76, it is the Kung Pao chicken, actually. So you
There you go.
No, not really. That'd be cool if it was.
Probably. And because I am about that baseline. I'm trying to figure out the camera angle here.
Oh, a little bass clef.
A little. That's right. I'm a low life.
It doesn't mean you killed somebody in prison. You just joined a band there, right?
I'm crying because I'm the bass player. So it's a tear for all the bass players of the world out there. We never get laid.
That's bullshit.
Is this a ratio thing? I'm not sure. I don't know.
Hey,
Could be,
did you guys
could be.
listen to the new Metallica song today? Or
I
have
did.
you?
I did.
Goddamn, pretty good. It's goddamn
Yeah,
good.
somebody sent it to me and was like, I don't think they can figure out if they want to be the old Metallica or the new Metallica. And I listened to it and I'm like, well, shit, why not both?
I just
That's
like
pretty
that I
damn
can
good.
hear. It sounds like I can hear everything. It's like the
Yeah.
sonically, the sound design of the drums. You know what I mean? Like the snare, everything is like so spot on. The guitar tones are spot on. You can hear, all of the bass. I mean, it's great. And then of course James' vocals sound awesome. So it wasn't overplayed. They just got up, they played, said some fucking words, and had a good hook, and
Ooh.
I love it.
Yeah.
I think this is the best one so far I've heard. There you go.
Leave it to the bass player to recognize the bass. Of course, that's
Oh, of course.
not always the case with Metallica records, but
Well, I mean, there was no bass on "And Justice for All." You know what I
Yeah.
mean? That whole album had no bass on it, and
Yeah, that riff reminded me of Injustice for All for sure.
Oh yeah.
Had that ding 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 ding, and it had the same deal.
It's good. I knew they. What do you think of their TikToks? Did you see their little TikTokies they're making?
It's all the rage.
Can I tell you guys how much I
promoting the new
miss
funny
TikToks?
songs. Or,
What's that?
Is it promoting the new music, or is it just
Yeah.
look like 4 old guys trying to figure out TikTok?
Same.
Okay.
Both. Same.
Why does it have to be one or the other when it can be both?
Both can be true.
You're rock and roll. You never get old.
You know, I mean, you just know. I mean, listen. Q Prime owns them. You know that. I mean, that's like the top. We were talking about today. There's nowhere for them to go from here. They're at the top of the top of the top of the top of the top. You know what I mean? So they've got access to the best of the best of the best. And yeah, somebody over at Q Prime is going, okay, we're going to send over this little 16-year-old kid who's going to make your TikTokies, and basically, there you go, there you have it. And they're trying to duets, and I get it. Listen, I wish I were better at making TikTok. Like we are like a bunch of dudes, older dudes, trying to figure that shit out. You can see our TikTok is a hot mess, but
I thought that was the point.
It is the point.
Yeah.
It is the point to be a hot mess, but
I don't ever you get like 2 seconds into a TikTok. If it's not entertaining, I'm out.
Yeah, I just I mean, if that's what they're hoping for, and that's, but I just don't like I could be in here with a camera watching me make these fucking songs all day long, watching us, bang our heads against the wall to try to figure out how to, grow our numbers or whatever. But I really just want to focus on making music, and, I wish I didn't have to do all that other shit. I don't have to do it. That's the thing. We don't have to do it. You know what I mean? But you kind of have to do it. It
doesn't hurt when you do it. So you kind of have to do it.
You kind of have to do it. And I get it, but it's just not, I have a younger daughter who's, in her early 20s, and she's starting to want to do music, and, trying to make songs for her. And just, I guess the thought process between what today's music is, where the sound of the music itself is kind of somewhat doesn't really matter. It's really about the message, the moment, whatever it is they're feeling right now, and they got to get it out right now. They don't have time to wait to go to a studio and record everything all up with bands and any of that shit. They don't. So they just, grab some sample that somebody else already did, all that, put it all together, and there it is. And seems very much like the way that I can see it is it's like a Hallmark card. You open it up, oh, this is a great message, and then it doesn't really matter what it's printed on. That doesn't matter. It's just that message. You read it, you got it, you throw it away, and I think I'm still, or Messer definitely, we're still trying to write, novels or something that you're going to put on a shelf in a library and go back to 20, 30 years from now and pull it off and go, Moby Dick still stands up today. I mean, that's the goal,
Very
but
well
that
said.
takes a long time. To write a novel, to make a, or a good, song and have it sound really, the way that you want it to sound, it takes a long time. And a lot of modern music, they're not spending that much time in it,
Nope. That was very well said, sir. Very well said.
Yeah, it's sad, but I'm at a point where we're gonna just keep making music for us. For me, Derek, Kenny, what else are we gonna do with our lives at this point, other than just what we're doing? And so that's kind of where we are. You hadn't even really asked us that yet, because we're talking about hamburgers, but.
We didn't have to ask.
The conversation evolved, and we got here. We got here how we got here.
And here we are.
But yeah,
you didn't know that hamburgers led you into this.
We don't like to go straight to the point. We like to tease you with some hamburgers.
Little mind trick. Yeah.
I'm hungry all of a sudden, but I'm gonna have to go to Jake's later. But I feel like we're kind of hitting the high gears. You know what I mean? Like touring. Touring is not the same for guys like us after the pandemic. It was barely good for guys like us before the pandemic. The mid-level band, the band that's trying to break in rock music, which is a very hard genre right now. And when you compare rock music as a genre to, say, pop music or country music or any other chartable genre, it's a blip. You know what I mean? No one cares. I mean, that's the truth. You know what I mean? Very few people, and as a result of that, there's a disconnect. Where do rock music fans find new music? You know what I mean? You get the same 10 songs that
Right
Octane
here on
feeds
Deep
you,
Dallas Radio.
you know. Well, that's where you go. You have to go to. I was getting there. You have to go to independent radio stations like Deep Dallas Radio because, and it's important that we let people know that they have a choice, that it's not just what's on satellite or what's on their FM station. That there's a lot of great stations out there that exist on the internet outside of what mass media is trying to spoon feed you. And I think that playlisters or radio programmers like yourself, I mean, they're doing a good justice by trying to find good, solid, independent bands. And Dallas has so many. I went to a show last weekend that just reminded me of why I love doing music. Is when you have bands like Big Story from here, those guys are just a tremendous talent.
We just saw them last weekend.
Yeah, so that was like a great show. And
hey, we saw
Black
you
Tie Vendetta. There's just so many good bands. Our label mates and Anything But Human. I mean, there's no rock station in Dallas on the FM mainstream side anymore. Well, not that we ever had one that really could support us fully. We got that's cute, local band play, which we appreciated. But the reality of it is that at any point in time, that station could have chosen to get behind any band from Dallas and say, hey, we're going to make this a thing. And they didn't. They didn't. They don't have the balls, to play what they want, like a station like you, who just let your balls hang out.
Yeah. That's what we do, right, Amy?
Balls are out.
What
right?
we do, we play our friends' music and all local music. Try to get our friends played as much as possible so that y'all get exposure.
Yeah, we appreciate that. And to let you guys know, like anytime that that we've been any parts of the country, like it's always a thing. Like people from other parts of the country. Oh, it's really cool. You're from Dallas. What's that? Tell us what's that like? What's this? And it's always like, man, there's so much history here. There's so many great bands. I mean, I actually have a playlist on Spotify that's just like my own personal favorite bands from Dallas. It's got bands like Doosu and Slow Roosevelt and all the stuff that really heavily influenced me early on. Messer has a light show because I saw Slow Roosevelt with a light show back in the day, and it was a guy on the side with some power strips flipping lights off and on like this, and my mind just went instantly.
Scott Minyard.
And Scott, like I said, Scott's been a good friend of ours. My wife and I did Scott's hair and beard for a long time at our salon for years.
Must be a bass player thing. I don't know.
He was a guitar player, mate.
I was also telling Bobby.
My bassist is really good friends with Scott. So
yeah, well, we're typically the smartest guys in the band. I'm just going to put that out there.
I'm just waiting for Ben to chime in that it's true.
All right, I'm just joking. I'm kidding. I'm staying.
Chaco's got a little intelligence.
Yeah. But those were some of my big influences, and it means a lot for us to say that we're from Dallas, Fort Worth, or wherever. We always say Dallas, Fort Worth, but it means a lot to us because we're trying to live up to like Dave Stage Williams and the guys in Drowning Pool, and there's so many other bands from. I mean, like you could go on, and very few people know.
Big fan of the Drowning Pool. That new album is. What do you think about that new album? That's killer.
I feel like CJ, those guys are really locking in and just really, I think they're hitting the high gears and just got their whole thing dialed in, and it's great. I thought it sounded great. Of course, you're never going to replace Dave Williams, but Jason, I think, has been like the best. And you don't realize how big Drowning Pool is. I just, because we're from here and I can say, hey, CJ, but you go to Casper, Wyoming and mention Drowning Pool and people lose their tits. And that band had such an influence on America's military that is so deep seated that'll live with them long after those guys are all dead and gone. That band will still have a deep meaning to American soldiers because of those songs and Desert Storm. And you know, I remember playing with Matthew JC in Operation Rock the Troops, and we played Fort Bragg for 4th of July one year. It was like 50,000 enlisted and their family, and we closed the show with Bodies. And I had to tell him after I told CJ after I'd done this show, and we were playing House of Blues and we were hanging out, and CJ was at our show, and I told him, I got to tell you this story. I felt the power of that song on a whole other level, playing it as a cover song, you know what I mean? And I just like connect. I was like, oh, this is, for a minute, I was like, that's what it must feel like for them, you know what I mean? And it was an incredible feeling. And I was like, I got to like handle this with care and make sure I do it exactly the way it needs. I mean, it was like so much intention was going behind it. It was very powerful moment. I got the video of it. It was a very powerful moment for sure.
It's always a good show. I've been up there, you know, singing that song with them on stage at the end of the night. I think a lot of people have, but it's always fun, man. The crowd's always going wild. And we've covered, you know, Intercore covers Center. So that's always fun. And we've had Jacob up, obviously.
Yeah. I mean, you know what? And I've even said it before. I said, why not just let Jacob go do it? You know what I mean? Because he can do it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Awesome, man.
He is a badass. You know.
So that's a funny story because, you know, not to get too sidetracked, but our last show that we just played, and we played Center, and Jacob got up and sang it. And I remember when we were done, like our fans were coming up to me after the show, and they were asking me if that was the singer from Drowning Pool. And I'm like, well, kind of. I mean, he kind of does. He has done it before, you know.
He's done some fill-in shows.
It's in his blood.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying, to keep it in the family, you know what I mean? But Jason, of course, does a tremendous
Jason is an amazing singer.
Tremendous job. We've talked about, and we should make it happen. We were going to do a CJ and Jacob, the Pierce family cookout versus the Messer cookout, and see who can do the crawfish better. I don't know, you know.
That's
Can I just be a spec? Can I just be?
Yeah,
I just want to be a tester.
Yeah,
I'll be a judge.
I think this needs to happen this summer. We need to combine.
I mean, I've had Jacob's crawfish quite a few times.
Yeah,
it's really good. So
now I need Nestor crawfish.
We thrown down at the old compound there and Kenny's in Dallas, and it's maybe time to fire that up. Summer's, I mean, you know, what do we got? Another month or two. It's the season right now.
Got to shout out to Nate's too, man. Nate's does some badass crawfish.
That is you're speaking my language now. Love me some Nate's.
Like I think I'm gonna have to get some Nate's Friday. I don't know.
Those damn hush puppies and that garlic sauce there.
And the Desi sauce. Got to get the Desi sauce with the crawfish.
Yeah. Have you ever had their now we're talking seafood. Have you ever had their crab claws? Those crab claws? Have you ever had
fried crab claws?
Had some of their
what do they call them, crab fingers or something?
Yeah, crab fingers. Yeah. It's fried crab claw. Yeah.
Oh, I have not had that.
So good.
Oh, that sounds amazing.
It's like a bloomin' onion, but with crab fingers.
What?
Yes.
Oh,
it's pretty amazing.
Yeah, we need to get that this weekend, honey.
Man, I might need a tissue here in a minute.
What time's Nate's close?
Yeah, no kidding.
That's a sponsor we need.
Yes.
You know, we don't need any of that. We don't need that yellowtail bullshit, but we definitely need a Nate's sponsorship.
God bless Nate. I hope he's doing well. I haven't seen him.
Make sure to frequent Velvet Taco when you're in Debellum.
That's right.
Yeah, you know what? We've got a Velvet Taco in Fort Worth, and you know, I'll be honest with you. We can go down this taco rabbit hole for a minute, but anybody who's on the planning, whoever's in Fort Worth who's saying, hey, you know what, we need another taco stand. They need to quit this shit. We have enough taco stands.
Fort Worth does have a lot of taco.
You can
food.
never have too many taco stands.
Listen, there's fuzzy tacos, there's velvety tacos,
Torchy tacos.
there's a torchy taco, there's a taco,
Rusty.
Taco heads.
there's a pink taco. I mean, how many
Big
ways?
taco, that's a good
How
one.
many ways can we prepare beans and rice and tortillas? I mean, get the fuck out of here,
It
right?
never gets old.
Get the fuck out of here. I just want
So
something
Messer's
other than-
not.
Our
They don't have any
Mexican won't let me
taco
say that,
endorsements.
sir.
I love tacos. Don't get me wrong.
There's
I
no
love
official taco of Messer.
But can we? There is actually.
Oh,
There
You
actually-
have to have at least one
There
taco
actually
in the
is.
band.
There
I'm
actually
the
is.
taco of the band.
I would say hands down. Like, listen, when my people are coming into town, like, hey, like my producer, I bring him in from LA, whatever. Anybody I bring into town, and like, they go, where we get tacos? Going to Fuel City.
Oh.
Tacos at Fuel City. The best
the
tacos.
city
come out of-
tacos are good tacos.
best tacos come out of a damn gas station. That's where they are. They're not. I mean, they get too fancy at the velvet taco. I do like the velvet taco, but
There's
It's
no
too-
such thing as too fancy, bro.
it's too fancy. It's too fancy.
You like a good gas station taco.
Well, you know what? I grew up doing construction, and we ate those fucking tacos off the roach coach every day. You know what I mean? It just came 3 on a plate with some fucking limes and cilantro, and if you were lucky, the girls that they wore these little cheerleader outfits, and that's what they would drive around, little roach coaches, and you get your tacos, you know. You get your fucking tacos, and that's how you would sober up at 10:30 in the morning.
Here's a shot of tequila and a taquito.
Can you
But
tell those
somewhere-
guys to stop practicing behind you?
What's that? Yeah, is he really loud? That's
That's across the hall. That's D8.
We need to call out D8 and tell them
Hey, man,
we're doing a live
I just
show here.
realized that I know I met your bass player a couple weeks ago. Is his name Brad?
Mine?
No, that's me.
No. That's Brad up there. My bass player is Ben Gerson.
Oh, okay, Ben, that's it. Because
Ben,
he was
Brad.
jamming this 80s cover band thing with me and my boy Biggs at 6.
There you go.
He was
Fuck
supposed
yeah.
to come and do this party with us, but his car broke down or something.
That sounds like
Sounds like
that.
Ben.
That does kind of sound like Ben. That
that
might be
was
the
the guy
right
that
He showed me you guys shit and just through the phone in my ear. Pretty good.
Oh, the new thing.
Yeah.
We may or may not be releasing that tomorrow.
Huh.
oh
All right, cool.
Hey.
Tomorrow's Texas Independence Day. The song is all about Texas independence. So
okay, shoot him up.
I also wanted to plug my new charity. It's a nonprofit. You heard Maddox go into detail about the artist. For 15 cents a day, you can help a rocker out like me. Just got to stay in this business. You too can help other rockers give a shit about rockers. For 15 cents a day, you can sponsor me. All in the name of rock.
Somebody cue the Sarah McLaughlin.
That's it.
In the arms of a rocker.
Yeah, I think that's the Frozen Soul drum. We actually had the band Frozen Soul right next door to us, and so those guys are also in here rehearsing Relentless. They just got back from Europe, I believe,
Oh wow.
and then
Napalm Death, I think they were doing a tour.
they're headed out with Black Dahlia. Black Dahlia.
Are they?
Yeah, I think so.
Oh, they're going on Black Dahlia?
Yeah, but these guys are blowing up. They're killing it too, and that very, 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 very
Dedicated.
such a tiny subgenre,
Oh,
Niche?
It's like classic death metal.
A
but
niche?
it's frozen. It's very
Yeah.
niche,
Frozen,
very
yeah.
niche, but they're killing it
I love it.
because everything is frozen.
I could listen to it. Yeah, they throw snow at the show and everything. For real.
I had no idea
They
that that
make
was
it
a
snow.
thing.
It's badass.
What's the name of the band again?
Frozen Soul. So there's a whole genre of bands that they're so heavy. It's ice cold. It's like heavy and everything is like ice. All their
Cold Death is what it's
logos
called.
are all icy instead of like they're like tree branchy, but they're like frozen tree branches.
Badass.
But yeah, they're really, really good.
Crib Device came out in
Yeah,
January 2021.
Nice. Yeah.
Is that what it's called?
That's the name of the album.
Oh, okay,
They
yeah.
refer to it as Cold Death.
Yeah,
Crypt of Ice, exactly.
yeah. But they're really good, and like I said, those guys are rehearsing nonstop. They're for real, so support those guys. They're doing shit for real, for sure. They're
So
going
speaking of
places.
other people touring, does Messer have any dates coming up or coming?
We do. We didn't really touch on that, which we can, but post-pandemic touring is very, like I said, it's very complicated. A lot of our music venues didn't survive. The clubs and the smaller things, and then the people that we would usually go out and support on a tour are going out supporting bigger bands than them, and so there's just no. It's complicated, but yes, I think we're going to be making an appearance or two back at Sturgis. We're going to be doing some stuff in Florida. We're just kind of hitting radio markets, places where we're on the radio and people know who we are, and like Twin Falls, Idaho, and Boise, Idaho. I mean, anywhere Idaho, like we can play anywhere in Idaho, and it's really cool.
Come to Maine for the lobster.
But what about Idaho though? Can you play in Idaho?
Yeah, we can play anywhere in Idaho. Anywhere in Idaho. Anywhere. Do you know Idaho? I did not know this, but
what about you to Pimp? Can we play there?
Idaho is famous for their Snake River Canyon, which is where Evel Knievel famously tried to jump the Snake River Canyon jump, which he did not. He did not succeed. But the ramp and everything is still there. Like you could see it, where
that's
the
awesome.
landing ramp. But the legend of the story is that one side, the side that he was taking off from, was like one city, one municipality, and the other side of the Snake River was another municipality. And he had a permit to take off, but he did not ever procure a permit to land. So the whole thing was a rig job, you know what I mean? Because he was never going to land because he didn't have a permit to land. That's the legend. Snake River Canyon. That's told by Maddox Messer.
Not to date myself, but I remember watching that live on TV.
Yeah, same. I mean, I grew up with the little,
Oh yeah, the little bike. Yeah.
I loved Evel Knievel. That was a big deal for me.
Who didn't?
Yeah,
they remade
Jackass
that
came and
toy.
ruined it for everybody.
They remade that toy, and there's a guy on TikTok that makes Evel Knievel videos with the toy.
Oh no shit! All
Freaking
right,
hilarious.
I'm gonna have to go check that out.
Yep.
But it was really cool. You're driving through this town, and it just looks like any other like suburban town shopping mall, and all of a sudden, Snake River Canyon, and it's massive. Like if you've never seen it in person, it's impressive, and people are just base jumping. There's like you just jump off the bridge with your
Just right off the bridge.
all day, all the time. It's amazing. But they love their rock and roll there, and God bless them. They love them some Messer. So anytime Idaho wants us, we're there. Even though it's 33 hours driving there nonstop.
Oh, that's a
Well,
long drive.
This probably seems like a good spot to play a music video, Mikey. You got anything lined up? Anything in mind?
What you ask me now?
Got a music video?
That's fucking funny.
I thought you already had it queued up, ready to go.
I didn't rehearse this earlier, did you?
Right? I think we did.
I thought we did.
We were going another direction, so I was like, we'll see what they want to do, and then, but of course,
Keeping you on your toes.
Why don't we take a second? You want to do a quick little intro to what we're gonna do here?
What am I doing? You want me to do it?
What are we listening to? What are we doing here?
Well, let's cue up our music video for Unfuckwithable, as directed by the great Matthew J.C., another great local Dallas talent, and my brother in Operation Rock the Troops. Unfuckwithable. There you go.
Let's do it.
Can you see it? What is it? The CBS. Yeah.
struggle with the hate of a world gone blind. I think it's such a shame. Sometimes it's hard to shine, and it just ain't give up when I'm in too deep. Sometimes I gotta fight. Sometimes I gotta be strong like a diamond, cut through the silence, unbreakable. Break down the walls and you show them how you're unstoppable. Beyond unfuckwithable. I struggle with the tide, get lost in the wind. Sometimes I swim against, sometimes I wash away. And it's hard to decide when I should have let go. Sometimes I burn inside, sometimes you gotta know I'll make it through this. It has to be worth it. Don't give it up, I won't give it up, I won't give it up, I won't give it up. Be strong like a diamond, cut through the silence, unbreakable. Break down the walls and you show them how you're unstoppable. Beyond unfuckwithable. I couldn't see just how I would get through this. I had to have something to show me what strength is. I had to stand in this world all alone. I had to become unfuckwithable. Strong like a diamond, cut through the silence, unbreakable. Break down the walls and you show them how you're unstoppable. Strong like a diamond, cut through the silence, unbreakable. Break down the walls and you show them how you're unstoppable. Beyond unfuckwithable.
Boom.
Hell yeah.
That was awesome.
No, it's
Very
Messer.
nice.
It's not hell yeah.
Did I see you start laughing at the beginning because you were picturing a drummer in a bikini?
Yes.
Okay.
I don't have that pulled up.
Instantly where my mind went. I thought it was great.
We're gonna have
You're gonna have to get an old poster made up like the Cheryl Ladd posters and just keep that in the
Love it.
studio.
I
love
couldn't
it.
find it. You guys
Yeah, I need
about
that
it.
for sure.
We'll find it for you, Mikey.
Oh,
It's on the fan page, and
the official page or the fan page.
The Messer Machine page, which you
Who
should
the hell
already be a
did that?
member of.
I want to know who did it. I want to take it down immediately.
Now we're all trying to pull it up.
I got it right here. It's on my page because I reposted it.
Oh, well, that's all you had to say. Oh, there it is. That's all you had to say.
You know what? For the record, that hits like 2 out of 3 of my biggest fetishes. It checks a bunch of boxes for me. There it is. I love it.
Damn it, Maddox! Next time, just tell me you reposted it.
Who's Keith Kramer? Shout out to Keith.
Shout out to my boy Keith Kramer. I love it.
Hey, Keith, what's wrong with you?
He clearly won the internet today.
That was awesome.
And
All
again,
right.
go to messerband.com if you want to
Right.
see more of this content.
Here's the photo for the
Great
next
content.
That's it.
Oh man.
That could totally be an album cover. Oh yeah.
It should be an album cover. At least a t-shirt.
There it
And
is.
that would be
my
the
note.
back.
Give me
That
one.
would be the back of the t-shirt. The
No,
front of the
right.
t-shirt would just be like the body with the, with the bikini.
The backside.
The back could have the.
I love
Oh
it.
man.
Who,
All right,
who's that
man.
trying
It's,
to be?
Go
He's
ahead.
got this shirt. You could probably find a picture of it somewhere. He's worn it a couple of times on big shows, like on really big shows. But it's like girls. It's like one of those shirts that you wear, but it's like titties and boobies, and so if you're from afar, it looks like he's drumming with no shirt on. But the reality of it is, it's just one of those T-shirts. I have to
Yeah.
try to find one of those shows. That's a great shirt.
I mean,
It's almost just like that.
what else?
It's
What else
almost
can you
just
say
like
about that? That's genius.
that. I love it. I love it.
What's not to love? It's great.
All right. Maddox, where can we find information on Messer and what you guys got in the works?
Oh crap! I had this pulled
What?
up earlier.
This is what
That's why
my
you don't skip
had
rehearsal,
pulled up.
Mikey.
It's what happens when you get a contact high.
video.
Damn it.
You can find us obviously at the messerband.com. That's where all of the most up to the date stuff. We have an app, the Messer Machine app. You can download that app, put it right on your phone. That's really cool. You can TikTok with us and see if we're doing dances on TikTok, or check us out at the CVS. Apparently, that's where Kenny shops, and you can find us at CVS. So
There it is.
there it is.
Wait a minute, it looks nothing like him. Imposter.
There it is. But yeah, we have some new songs in the works. We got some really cool cover songs that we're actually putting a lot of effort into right now that I'm pretty excited about. And of course, some new original stuff. We're just going to, like I said, we're hitting the high gears, and, there's gas in the tank. So call us. We'll come play your barbecue, your bar mitzvah, whatever you got. We'll do it.
Awesome.
You want to have a crawfish cookout with Messer? Let's go.
There it is. Glad to see K-Fish on. Happy belated birthday, K-Fish. Don't forget his birthday show this weekend at Reno's.
Reno's. We were just at Reno's smoking weed in the back alley last weekend. Love that place.
They'll know where to find you. All
Need to
right.
get your merch.
There you go. Look at that.
All kinds of merch
I need one of those coffee cups.
Yeah.
for 15 cents a day.
That's pretty damn dope. I like
Yeah,
15 cents a day to Bobby and make it happen.
that's it. That's it.
That's awesome.
Yeah. Soon I'm gonna have my own the Messer Machine espresso beans.
Oh.
And we'll be offering the come on the tour bus, and I'll make you a Maddox mochaccino with Maddox on the bus VIP experience. Yeah, we'll enjoy a nice. I have an espresso machine here in my studio, but I also keep one on the bus as well, and at home, because you can never have too many espresso machines and iced coffee.
Oh man, guys, thank you so much for taking the time to hang out with us tonight. We appreciate it.
Of course. And you've been enjoying the lovely drum playing of the band Frozen Soul.
Yes.
Bear
Yeah. Thankful for the background music. Uh-oh.
Yeah.
Uh-oh. Disapproving
find that
Cameron made an
picture?
appearance.
How'd you find that picture of me?
Oh, guys, thank you so much. Appreciate
Of course,
you taking some
anytime.
time.
Call us anytime. We'll hang out.
We'll have to do more cooking with Messer restaurants.
There you go.
With
Yeah,
Messer.
really, you should definitely have. We'll set this up better next time where get Derek on and maybe he can just tell you, man, we're all foodies. We play in a band, but we really eat food.
That's
The
the
tour
thing.
is just so you can go different places to eat.
That's the whole. Hey, you want to follow Kenny's Google account, Kenny's left some of the most amazing reviews all over the country of places that we've eaten at and visited, and his reviews get thousands and thousands of follows and likes, and it's crazy. That's like, you think he's famous for playing drums for Messer. He's really famous for his food reviews across the country on Google Reviews.
And his calendar expected in stores soon, right?
There you go. His calendar. God, I hope we're getting a calendar. Or his OnlyFans, the Messer OnlyFans account.
There you go.
It's coming. So, but yeah,
That's
thank
about
you guys
Kenny
so
at
much
OnlyFans.
for supporting our little rock band from Dallas, Texas. We appreciate it.
Absolutely, guys. Thank you so much.
All right, rock on.
All right. All right. Till next time, guys. Thank you.
Later.